Intrepid Outdoors goes pro this week as we follow two former Major League Baseball players, Lance Parrish and Kevin Gross, on two separate whitetail deer hunts. The guys will be hunting the Solitude Ranch at Devil's Tower, Wyoming. Throughout the week, Lance Parrish and Kevin Gross weren't the only all-stars who stopped by the ranch. Professional hunters Mark Drury of Drury Outdoors and Randy Birdsong of Headhunters TV made the trip to the Cowboy State as well. To say the least, with four experienced hunters on the ground, the big bucks of the Solitude just might be in trouble. We'll start this episode with Lance Parrish, aka Big Wheel, an 8-time All-Star, winner of 3 Golden Glove Awards, 6 Silver Slugger Awards, and owner of a World Series ring. There's no doubt the 19-year veteran was one of the best, but now he's traded in his bat and catcher's mitt for bow and arrow. Let's see if he's just as dangerous from the tree stand as he was behind the dish.
Well, this whole thing kind of started with my relationship with Kevin Gross, actually. We played Major League Baseball together with the Philadelphia Phillies and developed a pretty good friendship. And through the years, we've been hunting a lot together, and got a call from him last year asking me if I'd be interested in coming out to Hewlett, Wyoming and participating in the one-shot turkey shoot. And thought it was a great opportunity. Always wanted to see this part of the country. So we both flew out here and had a great time at the turkey shoot. Through Kevin again, was able to hook up with Mike Schmidt and come out to the Solitude Ranch and do a whitetail hunt. Believe me, it was phenomenal. Well, the first morning of the hunt, to my good fortune, I found out that I was hooked up with Mike Schmidt, the owner of Solitude Ranch. He was going to be my guide and cameraman, and I figured if anybody knew the ranch and knew the deer, it would be him. So actually, I felt pretty fortunate. We went to one of the sets that was called the Muddy Pond. We were overlooking the Muddy Pond. They had a lot of deer activity there, and I mean, as soon as we got in the stand, we had action.
Well, we're sitting here off at Waterhole. I've seen a real nice 9-point coming through the last few days, and we're just hoping that he chooses this morning to come by.
Intrepid Outdoors is brought to you by Ameristep, quality hunting products. Limb Saver bows, absolute precision. Blind Turtle, hardshell hunting blinds. Crossman air rifles, take it outside. Replay HD cameras, life's in HD, replay it. Cap Pack, elevate your storage. America, free and independent, protecting our rights to access public lands.
Welcome back to Intrepid Outdoors. On this week's segment of America Free and Independent, we're going to be talking about land closures, which can make any hunter or outdoorsman just cringe. The U.S. Bureau of Land Management, the watchdogs of our public lands, administers more than 17.5 million acres of public land in the state of Wyoming alone. To break that down even further, the town of Pinedale, Wyoming's field office manages 912,000 acres of that territory. In 2008, the BLM sadly chose to close more than 520,000 acres, or 57% of that land, between January 1st and April 30th. The BLM had a handful of reasons behind the closure, but they mainly proclaimed it was to protect the area's big game animals from human harassment. They believe most of the alleged harassment came from shed antler hunters, who supposedly chased deer and elk, trying to get the antlers to fall off. As hunters, we should all support that idea, especially during these crucial winter months. But the entire idea doesn't make any sense. We have always had big game harassment laws, leaving the question of where were our law enforcement officers when this was the law of the land. After all, the Wyoming Game and Fish Department has a shed antler hunting season beginning May 1st just to combat this type of harassment. So with this new regulation in place, why are more BLM officers being hired to enforce this new law? What is this actually all about? A lot of Wyoming-born outdoorsmen stay in the state, continuing to hunt small game and predators for their entire life, and most of the time they'll never see a law enforcement officer actually in the field. So why close the land to everyone? Why not enforce the laws we already have and let the new shed antler hunting season do its job? What's really upsetting about the new law is that it shuts everyone out from our land, instead of just the original culprits who will always continue to break the law. Our true outdoorsmen and conservationists, they'll no longer be able to take their kids or grandkids on a cottontail rabbit hunt, or enjoy a weekend with friends and family, hunting or trapping predators for 4 months out of the year on more than 500,000 acres of the people's land. Thanks for tuning in to this week's segment of America Free and Independent. And remember, our public lands must stay open. The citizens of the United States have the right to use and enjoy these beautiful lands and their valuable resources. Before the break, former Major League catcher Lance Parrish had a nice 10-point buck in full velvet within easy bow range. Now let's get back to Lance to see if he can pull this off.
Get out of this tree and go and find a big buck. Hopefully he's laying right around. Nice and bloody.
The fruits of our effort this morning. Wisely chose to stand over the watering hole this morning, and geez, we weren't up there for very long before we had probably 6 bucks come through. Wasn't too difficult to make the decision to make this one the one to go after, and made a pretty nice shot on him, 20 yards, and there you see it. He's a beautiful Wyoming buck. Couldn't ask for anything better. Absolutely great. That's your first whitetail with a bow?
First velvet.
Oh, good. Congratulations. That is nice.
What a great buck, Lance. I know we were only in the stand for less than an hour, but you made a great shot in that awesome 10-pointer. Not only that, you were the first to punch a tag among our all-star hunters. We'll see how long this buck holds up though, because Kevin Gross is on deck. He's chomping at the bit for his chance to outdo his former teammate. But first, let's join up with Solitude Ranch manager Frank Amos and Elena Goodmanson for this week's segment of Intrepid Kids.
Intrepid Kids is brought to you by Whitetails Unlimited, working for an American tradition.
Good morning. We're here with a bunch of kids from Cheyenne and Laramie, Wyoming with State 4-H group. Bob Sexton brought them up this year to do a little camp with them and a doe hunt. Solitude Ranch and Intrepid Outdoors sponsored this.
I chose a muzzleloader, and I chose that because I was told that this was a primitive hunting ranch, and so they preferred either muzzleloaders or bows, and I didn't want to use my bow. I wanted to try something different, and so I chose the muzzleloader, and it's something that I've been wanting to try anyway.
That was why I asked if watch all the way around us, because these deer could be coming up from behind us, be coming from that food plot. They're at about 50 yards right there. Let them get closer. I'll stop her and then you shoot pretty ready. Yeah.
As soon as I shot her, she just dropped. It was awesome. And she's my first deer that I've ever shot, and I shot her with the black powder rifle. Hunting's important because it keeps the deer population from getting overpopulated, and if the deer get overpopulated, then they run out of food and so they starve to death, or they get a ton of diseases, so they die from diseases. I'd really like to thank the owner of the ranch for letting us do this, first of all, and I think this ranch is just beautiful, one of the best places I've been. And I'd like to thank my shooting instructor, Jeremy Fox, for helping me, because it's his rifle that I'm borrowing and he taught me how to shoot it.
That looked like a lot of fun hunting out of that blind turtle with a muzzleloader. It just goes to show you that boy or girl, America's wildlife needs America's youth.
This segment of Intrepid Outdoors is brought to you by Whitetail Institute. Research equals results.
Again, Gross out of his stretch. Kevin ready in the strike one pitch is hit in the air to shallow left. Webster's got it. No hitter for Kevin Gross.
Former Major League pitcher Kevin Gross achieved perfection when he threw a no-hitter in 1992 on his wife's birthday. That was one of the highlights of Kevin's long Major League career, which proved he was a force to be reckoned with on the mound. Let's see if Kevin can translate that killer instinct he showed us on the mound to the deer woods. He's been on 3 setups so far this week, and he's felt his fair share of the challenges. Let's find out if he's ready to step up to the plate on his 4th trip to the field.
Well, after drawing my Wyoming tag and Lance, he drew his tag, we were excited that we were going to get an opportunity to hunt Solitude Ranch again this early season whitetail. We came to camp this year, we had Mark Drury in camp, Randy Birdsong, some guys from Mossy Oak, and me and Big Lance Parrish, and that's where our hunt started, and we've had a great time. We had a really good set the first morning, had a real nice mule deer buck come in that I passed on, a few smaller bucks that we just decided not to take. Well, we got on a spot that Mike had put us on the next couple of evenings, and we were seeing some tremendous bucks. Passed a couple smaller bucks that I just didn't want to take and maybe a little too young. But I'd seen 4 or 5 big shooter, really mature bucks. The next day we put a set where we figured the deer were going to come out a little better for us to get a better opportunity to take a shot. Again, the big bucks eluded us and we're a little bit out of range. So Mark and I were talking at breakfast and he said, man, put up a ground blind over there on that tree line and get it brushed up real good, and he says, I think that'll really work for you.
No sooner got in this blind and this little young 8-point walked within
This segment of Intrepid Outdoors is brought to you by Conquest Scent Sticks, makers of Evercalm Deer Herd Scent.
Welcome back. We've been following former Major League Baseball player Kevin Gross on his quest to tag a nice Wyoming whitetail. Kevin has changed strategies. He's crawled out of the tree stands into his Ameristep ground blind. Let's find out if this new strategy works for this hard-throwing right-hander.
Rushed it a little bit when I squeezed the trigger, but God, dang it. That was fun though. Had to get that out of my system. First whitetail of the year, get a shot. My gosh. Got him a little far back, but we figured it was a good liver shot, and we ended up letting the buck rest and give him a few hours and decided, well, we'll just wait till in the morning.
How much we appreciate you sharing this camp, guys. Everything has just been a blast.
Well, Kevin got it done on the 4th day of his hunt. It took the morning of the 5th day to recover his Wyoming trophy. So let's rejoin Kevin and the guys as they search for his mortally wounded buck.
Well, looks like we found my deer from last night.
Wow. Another nice buck.
All right.
Good job, man.
Good find. Well, here's my Solitude Ranch, Wyoming buck right here. Been hunting hard for 3 days, opening day. And this buck, we got last night, hit him back a little bit, and we got the guys together this morning and tracked him down here. And he is a dandy. Boy, he's heavy. Beautiful buck. I want to thank Mike and Bob and Frank and all the guys here at Solitude Ranch. We've had a blast. We've seen tons of nice bucks. Just been an awesome, awesome time.
Well, it was a week of non-stop action at the Solitude. All of our professional hunters were able to take a good, mature whitetail buck and return home with some great memories. I would personally like to thank all the participants of this week's All-Star Hunt, and I would also like to encourage you to watch for Lance and Kevin on future episodes of Intrepid Outdoors. For a full show lineup, check out our website, intrepidoutdoors.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luminoc. Always know where your arrow goes.
I've been your host, Mike Schmid. Thanks for watching, and next time on Intrepid Outdoors.
My God, he's the biggest elk I've come across in the public.
We're freaking glassing over here for deer. This is our last morning here.
We come up a mountain, it's gotta be 2 miles straight up. This was tough, tough work.
And we hear some noise, and freaking sure luck, here comes a freaking nice bear.
It was a work, but it was well worth it. What a workout, yeah. Woo! What an elk.